if you could join me in also in welcoming Stephen.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be once again on this stage where Field Day did its first performance and brought Brian Field's translations to the world. But before it went to the world, it went to Derry, and that was very significant. And I just want to say it's a huge honour to have Amitav Ghosh here. He could be anywhere in the world, and he chose here. And tomorrow, Dublin. And we are so thrilled to have him here. Amitav Ghosh. Okay, I'm going to read a poem about Gaza. The UN counted the number of our dead by Seamus. The UN counted the number of our dead. Thank you for that. But we know how to count. The UN published reports and fact sheets detailing 51 days of hostilities, provided footage and documentaries. The massacres were televised. 2,131 killed, 1.8 million terrorised, 110,000 displaced, 495 children slaughtered, dead. And the UN said, there is nothing more shameful than killing sleeping children. Grave concerns were expressed, rivers of tears were shed. The UN counted the number of our dead. Thank you for that, but we know how to count. The UN issued denunciations using words like indiscriminate, disproportionate, and even abomination. The UN huffed and puffed and called for an investigation, and they counted and counted and counted the number of our dead. Thank you for that, but we know how to count. We have counted our dead and displaced since 1948. We have counted demolished homes and uprooted trees, detentions, fatalities, injuries, revoked permits, exiled refugees. We have counted settlements that spread like a disease. We have been counting for years. Towers and walls, checkpoints and wars. And we know how to count. Resolutions and declarations, statements and denunciations, press releases and condemnations, war crimes and violations. So thank you for counting, United Nations, but we know how to count. It's called Trump Time. Nineveh, Tyre and Carthage are long gone. Also Troy and the hanging gardens of Babylon. Now Britain's empire is a thing of the past, and Angria too will have an end at last. Oh, not an end, but a slow decline at least. Whitman and Moby Dick, F. Scott Fitzgerald will still be read, Gershwin and Satchmo heard, movies downloaded, but the wider world will think of other things, as it did once. Hard rock and carpet bombings will be down, Apple and Goldman Sachs down with the rest. Some peace and quiet once again in evidence. Where spring rises in the little wood of birch and sycamore beside the house, I stand and listen to the undying source whispering there. I'd travel if I could through the lost ages to a distant time when it was sacred to a pre-Christian God. I'd tie a token on a thorn and climb back to the present, sure in the belief we can still touch the origins of life. Relish perspective, silence, solitude, far from the bedlam of acquisitive force that rules us and would rule the universe. Such things survive, beloved of poet and artist, only where their despoilers haven't noticed. In a yard or a hidden cove, out on the edge, the rushing meadow and the fallow acre, ripe for development as industrial plant, serving as temple, shrine and sepulchre. These places minister to the soul by dint of radiating a strange air of privilege for world dominion. And here we live, not in a petulant rage, but an inner continent of long twilights, shrouded in mist and rain, the lasting features of our lost domain.